Hi everyone, welcome to the Make Automation Crash Course for Beginners. The goal of this video is to take you from a complete beginner to creating your own automations in no time. Now, there are thousands of business use cases that this platform enable. So I'm just going to pick one particular business use case to use as an example. And as you're following along, try to see how you can apply it within your specific business. Now, the easiest way to understand this platform is that it gives you the ability to let multiple applications speak to each other, whether it's creating or sending or updating or deleting data. So let's say that you have two separate applications. So when something happens within app one, do something in app two. That's what automation is. I know the word automation seems like a very technical term, but it's just a fancy term of saying when something happened over here in app one, do something in app two. That's it. So don't get intimidated by big marketing terms. So for this video, I'm going to use a real estate example. Let's say that you run a real estate agency and you want a system to help you filter out the hot leads from normal leads. If you're within the marketing space, you'll understand the difference. But the term hot leads mean this person is ready to buy right now. This person is highly motivated. And within marketing, you want to get in contact with a hot lead as fast as possible. The quicker you're able to speak with a hot lead, the higher your conversion rates. So we'll be creating a system that automatically prioritizes leads based on their urgency, sending you instant notifications for hot prospects. So here's a quick overview of how the system works. We're going to use Google Forms to collect the lead data. Then we're going to add it as a row in Google Sheets. And then within the Make platform, we're going to add a filter to notify us of a high priority lead or a normal priority lead. Okay, so that is enough theory for now. Let's go ahead and help you create your first Make automation. Now, if you haven't created an account as yet, go ahead and do so. And once you're logged in, on the left side, hover over the left tab and click on the Scenarios tab. Once you're there, at the top right, click Create a New Scenario. And then it's going to take you to the scenario editor. This is where you'll be creating your automations and workflow. So the first thing we have to create is our form. So let's go ahead and do that first. So go ahead and log into your Google Forms account and then click a blank form. For this one, I'm going to call it Real Estate New Lead Form. And the first field will be the name. Let's leave that as a short answer. For the next field, we want to collect the email. So leave that as a short answer. The next field will be a phone number. Leave that as a short answer as well. Now for the next field, we're going to ask the prospect what's their preferred property type. Let's do a multiple choice for that one. So the first option is single family. Second option is condo. Third option is townhouse. And the last option is a multifamily. For the next field, we're going to ask the budget range. First option is 100K. Second option will be Third option will be 500K to 700, and the last option will be 750K plus. And lastly, we're going to add the urgency field. For this one, let's use a multiple choice as well. For the first option, ready to buy now. Second option, within 3 months. Third option, within 6 months. The last option is, let's say, just browsing. Okay, so our form has been completed. Let's test it live and make sure that it's there. Name, email, phone, preferred property type, budget range. Okay, great. Let's go back into the Make platform and add it into the editor. So to add an application, you're going to click the plus. And in this case, let's just search for Google Forms. There it is. And in this case, we want to watch responses. This automation is going to be triggered whenever a new lead has been submitted. So I went ahead and connected my Google Form account. Make sure that you do the same here. For the limit, we're going to set that to 1. Want to perform one operation at a time. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is populate the form ID here. So if you go back to Google Form and pay attention to the URL, the form ID starts after the E. So the form ID is a very long string of characters. So it starts right here to here. So go ahead and copy that. Go back to the make platform, paste in your ID. Go ahead and click OK. So if you want to make sure that Google Forms is working fine, let's go ahead and do a quick test. So go back to the form. Let me do a quick test here. Test name, test at test.com. Phone number is that. Just select any random option. We're just doing a quick test here. Submit. Okay, so let's go back to the make platform. We're going to click run once. Okay, so it pulled the data. Go ahead and click on answers. So for example, the name. If you want to see the exact value that was submitted, in this case, the name, you click on text answers, plus answers, then you click on the one, and it will show you where it says value test name. Okay, so the next step is to create our Google Sheet. So let's go ahead and do that. Make sure that you log into Google Sheets. Let's create a new one. For this one, I'm going to call it real estate leads. You have to make sure that the column name matches the field within your form. So in this case, we have name, email, phone, and the others. You'd have to create the matching column within Google Sheet. So let's go ahead and do that. Name, email, phone, property type, and the next column is budget range. Let's give this a bit more space. And the last column will be urgency. Okay, so our sheet has been created. Let's go back to the make platform. And you're going to click on the plus right here to add another application. So in this case, I want to use Google Sheets. So let's click on that. Now for this operation, what we want is to add a new row. So we're going to select this option here, add a row, which appends a new row to the bottom of a table. Go ahead and make sure that your sheet has been connected. Once that has been done, let's go ahead and click to choose file. It's going to search and fetch the data from Google Sheets. Let me go ahead and select real estate leads. Let's go ahead and map the values to the correct columns. You're going to select the arrow that is beside name. Then you're going to select text answers and select the arrow that is beside answers. Then you're going to select the value. Once you click it, it's going to populate there. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same for the other columns. Once the fields has been mapped, let's go ahead and click OK. Let's go ahead and do a quick test to make sure that Google Forms is communicating with Google Sheets. So I'm going to go to the Google form here. Let me just enter some sample data. Say John Smith, John at test.com. Numbers, say townhouse. Select a random range here. Let's click submit. Let's go back to the make platform. Let's go ahead and run once. So let's check our Google Sheet. And there it is. Great. So now our Google form is sending the data to our Google Sheet. So the last thing we're going to work on is the ability to filter between hot and normal leads. So let's go back to the make platform. So the next thing we're going to do is set up our router to help filter the email based on what the user select. So remember that if the user select ready to buy now when they're submitting the form, I want to get an email with a different subject line that says hot prospect. If the user selects a different option, if the user select any other options, it will just be a normal notification. So let's go back to the make platform, and I'm going to add a router. Let's search for that. So what a router does, it allows you to separate data based on certain conditions. So in both of these, we're going to send an email, but let's go ahead and connect the email. So the first one, let's select email, and what we want to do is send an email. Select that option. Make sure that your email account is connected. I'm going to have the notification sent to my email. And for the subject line, let's just say new hot prospect. Let's put in bracket real estate lead. So for the content, let's go ahead and add the relevant data. So name. For this one, let's add name value, phone. Let's add the phone value. Budget. And lastly, let's put the urgency. Okay, so this will do for now. Let's go ahead and click OK. So let's go ahead and do the same thing for the other notification. Select email, send email. Make sure that your account is connected. For the subject, let's just say normal real estate. And for this one, we can do the same. And for the content, we're just going to say the data was added to Google Sheet. Let's go ahead and select OK. I'm sorry, let's go ahead and put the email that should receive the notification. It's going to be NoCode mario@gmail.com. Click OK. For the hot prospect filter, let's go ahead and click on that gear icon here and click setup filter. Okay, so let's go ahead and add the filter for the hot prospect flow. Go ahead and click on the wrench icon here and click setup filter. Let's call this hot prospect filter. And we're going to say if the urgency value is equal to ready to buy now. So, okay, so the filter have been added. Let's go ahead and rename this so that we can easily identify which one is which. So let's call this hot prospect email. Press OK. Lastly, let's add the filter for the normal urgency. Let's go ahead and add the filter for the other email. Click setup filter. Let's call this normal email, not urgent. And for the condition, we're going to say if. And for the condition, we're going to say if urgency value, we're going to select this drop down here to change the condition. If it's not equal to ready to buy now, then send that email. Let's go ahead and select OK. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this to make sure it's working fine. So let's go and submit new data here. So I'm going to say Mario tests, Mario tests.com, random number, multifamily, range 250K. And for this one, let's select ready to buy now. Click submit. Let's go ahead and run the automation to check to see if it's working. All right, great. Let's check the email. Awesome. So we got an email with a hot prospect. I misspelled it right here. Sorry about that. And as it showed, the data has been passed into the body. You can always format it to make it look better, but this is just an example, so don't worry. Okay, so let's go ahead and test the other condition. So I'm going to say Mario test 2, Mario test2.com, phone number, townhouse, select budget range. I'm going to select any option apart from the first one. So let's say within 6 months, click submit. Let's go back to the make platform, run the automation, show that it was successful. Let's go ahead and check the email. And there it is. Normal real estate lead was successfully submitted. So if you go to the Google Sheets, you'll see that all the data is added there. So this makes it easy for your team to prioritize leads and increase your conversion rates. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you learned something. There are many more automations that can be done. If you have any questions, leave them in a comment below. And if you want to reach out to me, just join my email list below and reply to one of my emails, and I will respond to you as soon as I get a chance. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thanks for watching.